Hi everybody, my name is John. Say hello to my little friend. This is Charlie. Charlie's in Chihuahua. And tonight we're going to share with you a recipe from his native land. Charlie's a Chihuahua. He comes from a long line from ancient Aztec warriors, and he has a special menu selection. It's called Mexican lasagna. That's what I call it. And I'm going to make that now. I've got a lot of the prep work done. And I'll put Charlie down now on the floor. I wouldn't put him down. I don't want to get the wrong idea here. You wouldn't do a thing like that with Charlie. But this is Mexican lasagna. It's perfect for these times when we might have a small gathering of people and a pandemic's going on, and we don't want people like touching food and using their hands so much. So this will give you like a good nutritious meal. It's good for dinner, it's good for a snack, it's good for lunch, it's even good for breakfast. And I'm going to go over what you need to do, the ingredients, the cookware, and we'll run through this. Let's see, this meal is also gluten-free and vegan. The way I'm making it, it's gluten-free and vegan. So if you're having some friends, a small group of friends in the pandemic coming over, and then some of them, they got restraints and requirements, like that's two big groups right there, and this one dish will cover them, and they'll never know it's missing anything. It's missing gluten, or it's missing meat or cream or anything like that. So what you're going to need first is you're going to need a small pot like this with a lid, and you're going to need a larger pan with a cover too. When we make the lasagna, we're going to need some kind of hard pan, like a lasagna tray. Could be a Corning glass tray. Probably not want to have a foil one. And we want to, when we serve it, this is a nice sturdy, you can cut things with this. This is not a flimsy one. This is perfect for Mexican lasagna. I bought most of the ingredients at Aldi's. I'm a fan of Aldi's, what can I say? And $1.29, you'll need like a bag of tostadas. Seems like you use like 2/3 a bag, so you'll end up with a third. The next time, you'll use a third and a third of a fresh bag. And at some point, you'll sink after 3 bags, you'll have anyway. You'll need, I like the small sweet peppers. They could be large ones. They're all getting cut up anyway. So you need peppers, the green onions, $1.89, 89 cents, 79 for cilantro. And then these are from another store. These are just jalapeno peppers. So then you're going to need avocados, because we're going to have sides of guacamole when it's done. You have guacamole, you have sour cream, we're going to have salsa. So here's the salsa, and here, this is why have sour cream when you could have better than sour cream? So this is no hydrogenated oil, no gluten, no lactose, no cholesterol, no dairy. So look this stuff up. Unless you grew up on like a sour cream farm, you're never going to know a difference.
Tell me the name of it.
It's called Tafuti. It's better than sour cream. Then Daya. There's a few. There's a what's the cheese type? There's a mozzarella type at Aldi's, but then I like cheddar. Daya makes a good dairy-free and gluten-free cheese. And now this is like a test tonight, pepper jack style they have. But usually I use the cheddar, and that's really a good result. I put a little oil in the big pan. Let's see, and I'm running low on oil. That's enough anyhow, so that's good. First thing you're going to want to do though is you're going to want to start the beans. Let me continue with this. Hang on. Piece of egg. We have Beyond Meat crumbles, and on this dish you're probably going to use half a bag. Now they've got some that are already kind of Mexican flavored, feisty or fiesta they're called. You know, we're going to do that ourselves and flavor it. And then if you get the feisty, whatever, fiesta ones, you'll be stuck. You could only make something Mexican with it, right? So you might want to make Italian lasagna, and I could use this in that one instead of painting myself in a corner. Then turmeric and chili powder, 49 cents, diced tomatoes with green chilies. Corn, they had this, they don't always have it, but Mexican style corn, drain the corn. Then I sliced the jalapeno pepper, thin slice. I put that in a separate bowl. And the first thing you want to do is you want to get your refried beans, fat-free refried beans, and black beans. Drain the black beans, rinse them off. And I like to put a little bit, I started this already. You put a little bit of water, I splash a little water in, and then the refried beans, and then the black beans. And I put it, you want to put it on a really low heat so you don't scald that at all. So I've had this on actually a few minutes. You saw some steam come off it. And that's the slowest thing to cooking here. So what I did here, this is very simple. This is like the main flavoring, if you want to call it that. We've got the colored peppers, not the jalapeno peppers, just the regular colored peppers, cilantro, and the green onions, all chopped up, you know, pretty small. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put some of this into, so I'm going to put some onto there. And then I'm going to put some chili powder on there. And then I'm going to put turmeric. It's supposed to be good for you, they say. So I try to like do 8 shakes a day, because that's what they say. Now, I'm just gonna see when this refried beans first come out, like, whew, it comes out like, whew, like Alpo or something. And let's see. So now this is like, as it heats up, it kind of gets a little more lubricious. A little more lubricated. Okay. So, and since this is all going to end up in the same casserole or lasagna, you could even use one spatula. So, let's see. This is an authentic recipe from Charlie. He gave it to me. Charlie, his heritage, his Mexican Aztec heritage, he gave me that recipe from way back. In fact, he wrote it down because, you know, dogs can't talk. Everybody knows that. But, you know, this is all the ingredients. I had to actually dress like this when I went to the store. That turned out to be a prank. Charlie got me. But this was the recipe. We had to take it to Princeton University, to the anthropology department, and they interpreted this for me, and then I got everything straight. So Charlie did this. See, Chihuahuas were derived from a mythical ancient animal, the Techichi, and the Aztec people thought that they could see the future. And indeed, they did see the future. They saw the future was not too bright for the Aztec civilization. And that's when they came up with this meal, because when the conquistadors came and brought all these diseases, it was really important for the Chihuahuas to stay healthy. They came up with meals like this during the pandemic to stay safe. Because you can like end up, you could cut a piece of this out, give it to someone, say, get over there 6 feet away and eat it, and don't be grabbing things with your hands. So that's the concept behind the meal. Now I'll start the large skillet. And this one had been opened before. I think I made this before. So I've used half of this already. I'm going to use the other half. Then I'm going to take a bunch. I'm going to leave a little bit of this left. A little bit of our flavorings left. And that's going to be for the guacamole. So see, everything's good, efficient. Gobble shakes, because that's what they say. Chili. Now, if you're using like real ground beef for this, you'd probably want to, cook that first and drain the fat and all that stuff you have to do with when you're eating dead animals. That's what you got to do. But hey, that was your choice. So let's see, I've got that going. Next, I'll put in the corn, and I've drained the water out of the corn, and it's all ready to go. I don't want this like video to be on like in hours, hours and hours. At Dr. Zhivago. So the corn, and then I don't drain the tomatoes. Beautiful music, Charlie's culture in full force here. And this starts to look really, really nice and pretty, and actually the kitchen starts to smell nice. There's all healthy stuff here, this is onions, peppers. I just cut the peppers, I don't take the core out, like I like the seeds and everything, so, because it's one of those things, like, you'll read some article about peppers, and they found some phytochemical in the seeds of peppers, and it's like an antioxidant, and it's like amazing, and it cures cancers. Like you just don't see that with like a New York strip steak. Hey, they found a phytochemical in the pork roll that's real healthy. Never comes the day. So this is heating up. I think the beans are just about ready. I put this on like 10 minutes ago. This was an Aldi's find. $6. When you make your guacamole, you can put it in here when you're done. And what I recommend is put it like a little mound, and like a slight mound. And then this is slightly convex, and then you push it down, and you push it down and push all the air out so it doesn't oxidize. And then you'll see on the side like all the air bubbles that you can push down and get rid of. And I made fresh guacamole and put it in here, closed it real nice, didn't open it in between. Like 4 days later I opened it up, it looked perfect, it was great. So that's a nice thing. And let's see, this is heating up. I'm going to get a lime. Hang on. I want to take a look, like our avocados. Can never tell with the avocados. These feel like they're going to be good though for the guacamole. They feel like they're going to be nice. Pro tip: if you can get diced avocados frozen, and if you did that, just get them out of the freezer before you start doing anything on this. And by the time you need them, you should be thawed enough. You can microwave them like 45 seconds. You don't want to get hot. but you want them, you know, when you put something in for not enough time and the inside's cold, like that's kind of what you want if you microwave them. But much easier to do it from the inside of the, from just taking them out of the refrigerator. So that's all good. Now we don't want to saute this to where we want these peppers and stuff to stay kind of crisp. So really, that's about it. That's good. And my beans, they look like, you know, they're steaming. They're nice. They're good. So I can turn off. That's all cooked. I get my lasagna tray and I preheat my oven. And you'll love this, it just makes noise. Isn't that nice? And we start to assemble peacefully assemble. You all might have noticed my shirt says JDRF Ride Program. And what it actually says, even apart, we're
stronger
together. So, I ride for JDRF. We raise money to work on type 1 diabetes research and find a cure one day. And so that's actually the reason for this recipe online. I'm hoping that people might enjoy it and might decide to contribute to my ride, which is going to be in the links at the bottom of this video. So I wish that they were rectangular tostadas. So we've got to kind of put them in a formation and use some of the broken ones, because there's always going to be some broken ones. Use some of the broken ones to fill in the gaps. And basically what we do take a little of that. The hot peppers, the jalapenos, you know, and this recipe overall, it's very, you know, if you like something, you could use more. And if there's something you don't like, you could use less. I like to put the jalapenos in separately like this, just because I know some people don't like them, and this way they can avoid them when they're eating this. They can pick them out pretty easy. And let's see, I'll try this. That. So we've got the beans, the mix, the cheese, and the jalapeno peppers. And we're ready for another. The original set was like this, so I like to put one like that. And you can see that. What did my dad always say? If you broke something like that and broke it in half. I don't even want to say. So let's see. So this is the part where it gets its name, lasagna. because it reminds me of making a Italian lasagna. That's some beans. Instead of noodles, pasta noodles, we've got tostadas. Instead of cheese mix, we've got beans. And instead of the tomato and tomato sauce, we've got this. Sometimes I forget a layer. I forget cheese or something. Honestly, I've had it with no cheese, and it's been just fine. Okay, beans, okay. Sometimes you might want to push down a little bit on it. Let's see. That one there. My dad would say, should have been a priest. And that's a whole topic there. Getting near the top here. As we get near the top, you want to start applying things. With vigor. These are all different pieces. What I've got to do. I lost count of track of where the formation was there. Let's see. How many? Did you know Chihuahuas were really behind the discovery of insulin? It's true. I mean, you don't take my word. You Google it, like Google dog laboratory, doctor, discovery of insulin. And you'll say, like, yeah, there were dogs in the lab. I know what you're thinking, like, oh, the dogs, John, they were testing the dog, testing the medicine on the dog and they did test on dogs, you know, beagles, whatever. They tested the medicine on the dogs. But the Chihuahuas actually, they were there with lab coats, and they were making calculating titrations and stuff. And that's just what they did. In fact, they made sure that insulin came from pigs back in the early days, because they made a deal that people would get the insulin, they would get the pancreas of the pig and get the insulin. The Chihuahuas got the rest of the pig. They had bacon, ham, pork chops, ribs, and that's okay. You know, if you're a Chihuahua, you know, you deserve those things. We're gonna put this in like 10 minutes. Really, everything's cooked. We just want to heat those tostadas up. I'm gonna put that 10. Okay. So I'm gonna use like two pans for cooking. Now, as we wait, I'm gonna make a guacamole. Look at a firm spoon, a firm fork. So you want a nice one that you could put some pressure on. So this is the knife I was using earlier. So I got 10 minutes to make guacamole. So this is good because then you got fresh guacamole. If these are actually nice. And there's a little bit here. Hey, that's, get out of here. Charlie don't like that one. Okay. So I'm going to take the remainder of my spicy mix, and I'm going to make sure, I like little chunks, but I want to make sure the peppers aren't too big. I just want little tiny pieces. So that's good. Now, minutes. I'm always afraid they're going to like slip a genetically modified avocado in here with no pit. And I'm going to cut my hand off. Okay, that's a big batch. So that, and a little more chili powder. And why not? Turmeric. And then I'm going to start mashing it. Like Mexican mashed potatoes, they say. Charlie, am I doing okay? Am I doing it right? I hope so, baby. Yeah, so the Chihuahuas are in the lab helping with the discovery and making insulin. You don't hear this history everywhere. You have to watch. There's a good documentary series by George Lopez a few years back, Beverly Hills Chihuahua. He talked about the political and military significance of the Chihuahua. Now, I thought I had some fresh limes, but it's nice. Just a little bit of lime juice. I think it kind of helps it stay fresh with the vitamin C. So I won't put it in that guacamole holder yet. The leftovers I'll put in there, and so hey, we're good. Get these out of here. This out of here. I get a plate. Okay, so we have guacamole, We have salsa. This is a Aldi salsa. You can have any or all or none of these with your with your meal. When you're using a sour cream, just like any sour cream, but this isn't cream, definitely it almost is like when you get a fresh yogurt and it's all like solid-ish and you kind of mix it up. So yeah, mix this up a little bit and it gets real nice and pretty and creamy. And that's, we're almost there. It's really ready now. And just to says I got 4 minutes or so, but I'm gonna get it out. I'm gonna use 2 plus. It smells great. And that's Mexican lasagna. And you just cut into this with your always works perfect. Yes. And that's it. That's you give someone this, they could put on the sour cream or whatever, and then they could go and be socially distant. You know, you didn't have like people like if it were just nachos or something, people are reaching in, and when that bowl of nachos, however good it is, when it's like halfway done and there's like people at the party, no one wants to touch or eat that stuff because it's all, you know, it's all been picked through. I'm gonna say goodnight for Charlie. I don't know. Carlitos. Charlie's yeah, get some pictures, huh? Okay, so I hope everyone enjoyed this. How long has this video been, roughly?
Half hour.
Half hour, alright. But in the half hour, I made a nice little dish that sits alone by itself. It's a snack, it's a dinner, it's a lunch, it's even breakfast. And it's vegan, gluten-free, and really, really tasty. Now it smells real nice. So, Charlie thanks you. He asked that you donate to my ride, which will be in the comments below. And he doesn't like to ask twice, you know. That's how he rolls. So, Charlie says good night.